we are filing the suit wherever jurisdiction is there. So first of all, kindly see the what I was informed that already IPR session already been concluded. So just I am giving example. For the example, this is a phone. This is a mobile phone which consists all the IPR. See the patent, the processor, design, trademark, and logo, which cover on copyright also. As you are already aware that what is IPR? Intellectual property is a creation of human mind. Like tangible property, their creation has a value, and with all property, it needs to be protected. Just like a property, intellectual property rights protect intellectual property as well as help control and exploit their intellectual property. There are five types of IPR: patent, designs, GI, trademark, and copyright. Patent already you know the term patent usually refers to the right granted to anyone who invents any new, useful, and non-obvious process, machine, article of manufacture, or composition of matter, draw circles. The patent validity is for 20 years, and thereafter it is a domain. It is public domain. So the company is what doing? He does new invention in old patent and granted a new patent so that the old patent remain under patent. The law is enforcement of infringement of patents is only civil remedy. See, the patent enforcement, if you want to do, only civil remedies available. What is infringement? Infringement, use of a person other than a patentee or his assignee or licensee. That means patent can be used by patentee, assignee, or licensee, and other than is an infringer. So if you have a patent registered, not filing, in case your patent is pending, then you have no right for filing infringement suit of patent. There is difference between infringement and passing off. So we have to understand that if you file patent application, you have no right to ipso facto for infringement of patent. Remedies. In case if you have registered patent, then what is remedy? Only civil remedies available, as I already told you. On the basis of satisfaction of court, you can file a suit for injunction, damages, and accounts of profits or damages. You can avail one thing, either damages or account of profits, but you cannot claim relief of damages and accounts of profit both. When the subject matter of patent is a process for obtaining a product, the onus is on defendant, other party, to prove that the process used by him is different from the patented process. There is no provision for initiating criminal proceedings. I already told that only civil remedies available if you have registered patent. Relevant provision for infringement of patents are section 104 to 115. Now, as per Commercial Court Acts and Delhi and High Court rules, as per original jurisdiction, they have we can file a suit before District Court, Commercial Division, or Honorable High Court where original jurisdiction is there. We cannot file a suit before High Court, every High Court. And jurisdiction will cover under section 20 CPC for the purpose of patent infringement. When the subject matter of patent is a process of obtaining a product, same thing. This is a very important thing. If a counterclaim for revocation of the patent is filed by the defendant in the suit, that means if A filed a suit against B of infringement of patent and B filed a counterclaim against A, then counterclaim shall be transferred to the High Court for decision. High Court for decision means what? In case we have filed a suit before District Court, then the matter has been transferred to High Court for decision. reason behind, in patent, there is no special provision for filing revocation in separate proceeding. In case if you file written statement or counterclaim before a suit and taken the grounds which is revocation grounds as per section 64 of the Patent Act, then the matter shall be transferred before Honorable High Court for decision of both suit as well as revocation. Suit for grant or relief cases groundless threats of infringement. If one person threatens any other person by circular or advertisements or by any communication or writings, infringement of or a patent, any person aggrieved thereby may bring a suit against him, praying for the relief or declaration, including injunction and damages. It means in case I have a registered patent and I am threatening someone, I will take action, you stop this thing. So, and they have no any basis for threatening, then the other party may file a suit for groundless threat and can ask relief of injunction. What is defenses in infringement of patent suit? The revocation grounds is same defenses in patent defense suit as per section 64. In case we have taken the plea of revocation grounds, then it is a ground of defenses, because patents rights create very limited new novelty, innovation. So in case this your defense is just like ground for revocation, then you can take this plea in defenses also. What can relief we can obtain from the court? Injunction order, damages, seizure of infringing patented goods. We can file search and seizure application under section 26 rule 9 CPC, the seizure of the infringing goods. It is a very important aspect. Court can refuse damages or ransom accounts in case defendant proves that the date of infringement he was not aware of the patent exist of the plaintiff. So court can grant injunction but can refuse damages or ransom accounts relief on the basis of the defendant was not aware of the existence patent of the plaintiff. There is no provision of criminal proceeding in patent case. Next topic is design. Design means only the features of shape. Just we can say the any product of shape of the product. See, the design and as per Trademark Act, section 2M, shape of the product are almost parameteria. In case we filed a trademark application for the shape of the product, then we cannot file design application. But if you file a design application, then we can also file trademark application for the product shape product. So they embargo if you file trademark application first, then we cannot file design application, because for the purpose of design, you well aware that prior publication is necessary. In case prior publication, there is no design. In case prior product has been prior published, then there is no design, there is no novelty. So this is very important thing. In case if you want to obtain a statutory right under Trademark Act, it is important to file first design, then you file before Trademark Office. The period is 10 plus 5 years. Only 5 after 15 years, it is a public domain. This is same. There is no provision of criminal procedure in Design Act also. Design means only the features of shape, confections, patterns, ornaments, or composition of lines or colors applied to any article, whether in 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional or in both forms, by any industrial process or means, whether manual, mechanical, or chemical, separate or combined, which is in the finished article appeal to and are judged solely by eye. The infringement suit can be filed before competent jurisdiction, which is commercial district courts as well as high court. And same relief injunction, damages, account of profits, and there is no provision of criminal proceeding in this also. The relevant provision for infringement of design suit is section 22. 22 is very important. 22 and 19 is a very important, and almost only two sections is applicable for enforcement of design infringement. If any grounds on which the registration, see the patent where your revocation grounds or in counterclaim filed, then matter shall be transferred before concerned High Court. Same situation lying here as per section 22 subclause 4. If you took the defense of cancellation of design, then district court loses the jurisdiction to hear the matter and shall be transferred to High Court for the decision. So in one matter, court decide the suit, injunction, as well as validity of the design or patent. But this will be decided by only Honorable High Court. Defenses in the infringement of design suit is same as the grounds for cancellation as per section 19 of Design Act. Relief same, injunction, stay order, damages, seizure of infringing patent, infringing design goods. There is no provision of criminal proceeding in the design case. Now come geographical indications. Geographical indication is a new act recently launched in so many years, but not effectively implemented in India. So it is a parametry of trademark law. So we'll, in case we discuss in trademark enforcement, then we can understand better. Just what is GIE? Just like Darjeeling tea is a geographical indications registrations. Bengal Rasgulla is also GIE. Now we are coming to trademark set. A trademark is a distinctive sign which defines certain goods or services, drawing symbol, 3 dimensions such as shape, packaging of goods or color use as distinctive feature. As per Trademark Act and Design Act, it already told you that shape of goods will cover as per Trademark Act as well as Design Act. These are our trademarks example, which is a you can use day-to-day basis. Saraswati trademark for Canva, Credit shoes, institutes. Copyright, it is an exclusive right given by law in certain terms of years to the author, composer, or print, publish, or share composition of original work. Life of copyright is a very important thing. Lifetime of author plus 60 years. This is very important. So if you obtain copyright registration, then for lifetime as well as 60 years. But one thing is very important, there is no mandatory requirement of registration of copyright. So in case you wrote any poem or a story, and if you don't obtain any copyright certificate, still you have right. But you have to show that your creation is prior. Your creation is first creation. Somebody is copying, then you have to prove that your copyright is prior existence. It is burden on you. Then you have to prove that no, this creation is mine. Although registration of copyright is not mandatory, but it is advisable to register your anything, thesis or any songs or any story or any artistic work, so that you can enforce your statutory rights. Subject matter of copyright, which is created original literary work, books, dramatic, musical, artistic work, movies, songs, cinematographic films, sound recording. Registration is non-mandatory as common law applies, right of prior user will always prevail. In trademark, there is a concept of well-known trademark. In case if we have a well-known trademark, we have transporter reputation, and I'm using for the purpose of cosmetics, and somebody use the copy the trademark for different goods, then purpose of well-known trademark is I can enforce my right for different goods also. For example, 2-3 old judgments I want to mention here. Mercedes-Benz case, that time one undergarments company used a triple star for the purpose of selling the products. First time court in 1994. At that time, there was no well-known concept, there no any law in Trademark Act amended. Court observed that in case somebody passes the goods edge of the plaintiff and diluted the trademark of the well-known of the plaintiff, then court can inject that person. So the concept of well-known trademark is in case you have any trademark, you can say Apple. Apple is manufacturing mobile, iPad, something. If somebody uses Apple shoe, same logo, then Apple company can enforce their right, even they have not manufacturing, they have no registration, even then they can enforce their right as per well-known trademark. So the concept of well-known trademark is for different goods, for different services, we can enforce. In Trademark Act, Section 29 define the how the product has been infringed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12. There are many provisos there. In case trademark is identical, in case not identical but deceptively similar, not deceptively similar, phonetically similar, visually similar, then it is an infringement. In case somebody using trade name and violating plaintiff trademark, then it is also infringement. If you have a registered trademark and somebody using as a trade name, not trademark, then it is also a infringement of trademark. Honorable Supreme Court passed a judgment in media hygiene industries in respect of delay and dishonesty. The citation is 2004, volume 28, PTC 121 SC. In cases of infringement either of trademark or the copyright, normally an injunction must follow. See, the enforcement part will be covered injunction suit, because in case we failed for injunction, then your suit become infructuous. Injunction is very, very necessary for enforcement of our infringement right. Otherwise, they use long to day to day, year by year. So what is purpose of registration and what is purpose of prior user? So injunction is a very important remedy in case you have a registered trademark or you are using prior to the anybody. And also court hold that the grant of injunction also becomes necessary if it prima facie appears that the adoption of mark was itself dishonest. The Honorable Supreme Court in again American Home Products versus Mac Laboratories hold that when a person gets his trademark registered, he acquires valuable rights by reason of such registration. Registration of his trademark gives him the exclusive right to use of the trademark in connection with the goods in respect of which it is registered. And if there any invasion of his right by any other person using a mark which is the same or deceptively similar to his trademark, he can protect his right by action of infringement in which he can obtain injunction, damages, or an account of profits made by other person. In such an action, the registration of a trademark is prima facie evidence of its validity. In trademark action, a passing off is maintainable. What is passing off? Passing off is a common law remedy in case I am prior reserve but not obtained any registration. Defendant has filed trademark application and obtained registered. So trademark registration is later. So then many persons can ask question that no, I have no registration and defendant has registration. So how can I sue him? So the law is well settled as per Century Traders AIR 1978 Delhi 250 and Whirlpool judgment. Honorable Delhi High Court as well as Honorable Supreme Court hold that registration is irrelevant in case of passing off. If plaintiff uses prior to the defendant, then injunction order can be passed. The judgment is N.R. Dongre versus Whirlpool Corporation, 1996, volume 5, SEC, page number 714. In this matter, just I want to brief of this matter. This is a very classic judgment, and we should know the what is infringement and passing off. It will be clear in the judgment. Whirlpool company was a registered trademark in India till 1970s, and thereafter he was unable to renew the trademark due to miscommunication between attorneys and company. Meanwhile, Indian company in between filed a trademark application, Whirlpool, for same class of goods and obtained registration. When this fact came to know of the Whirlpool company, he filed two things. First, filed cancellation petition for registration before trademark office, and second, he filed a civil suit before Honorable High Court for injunction. After discussing each and every law, court hold that who is prior, it is important. Who obtained registration is irrelevant. So registration is no doubt it is a statutory right, but you should be prior also. So we cannot say ki I am a registration, so I am all in one. Nobody can injunct me. Yes, infringement action cannot be maintainable, but passing off is maintainable. If case somebody has registered trademark, then infringement suit cannot be filed, but passing off suit can be maintainable, and court granted injunction in these matters. See the what is different between infringement and passing off enforcement. In case you have registration or you don't have any registration, then infringement is a statutory remedy. Passing off is a common law remedy. In infringement, proprietor is only required to establish that infringing mark is deceptively similar to the registered trademark. That means if you have a registered trademark and somebody copies, so just show your registration certificate. It is enough. But common law remedy, proprietor is not only required to establish deceptive similarity of two contesting marks, but also required to prove deception or confusion among public and likelihood of injury to the plaintiff's goodwill. So, for passing off, you have to establish two things: prior as well as damaging your goodwill. Infringement of marks, passing off with the goods bearing the mark. Benefit of instituting a suit under section 134, the trademarks is available where the registered proprietor or registered user of trademark can institute. C. For the purpose of infringement, you can file a suit where plaintiff resides or carry on business or he has office. But passing off where as per CPC, where defendant resides or defendants carry on business. So the benefit of the CPC is benefit of section 134 is if you are in Delhi, you have registered trademark, a defendant is from Chennai, so you can file a suit Delhi, call the defendant, come before Delhi court. So it is an advantage of registration in trademark. But passing off, you have to file before Chennai court only because defendants are from Chennai. Fourth point is registration of trademark is required. Registration of trademark is not prerequisite because passing off registration is not required. You can file a suit for passing off. But in case if your prior is there as well as registration, so you can file a suit, infringement and passing off in one suit. So if you have a registration, then you can file a infringement and passing off both in one suit. Now enforcement. How can I enforce our rights? Civil and then criminal. Civil remedy, injunction, damages, accounts, appointment of local commissioner, where court appoint a local commissioner to seize the goods of the counterfeit infringing. In injunction, court can pass ex parte injunction order. This is very important aspect for enforcement. Delhi and Mumbai, we cannot say anything, but other than these two metro cities, we have filed a suit, infringement as well as passing off. Even court ex parte, rather ex parte, by party, they are not able to pass an order. So this is very difficult to convince the court that in case I have a registered trademark and defendant is using identical or dissimilar, court has power to inject immediately. Otherwise, whole purpose will be defeated. So ex parte injunction as well as discovery of documents, LC, local commissioner appointment for preserving the infringing goods and restraining the defendants for disposing of the property assets. Next step is if you file a suit, then enter pillar order. See, if you file a trademark infringement, copyright infringement, or patent infringement, design infringement, then court can pass order for search and seizure without notice of the defendant. See that in generally civil cases, notice is required. Then court can pass after hearing both the side by party. But in IPR issue, if you file a infringement or passing of suit and filed appointment of local commissioner, then court, if your case is strong, then court can pass an ante pillar order to search the premises and seize the goods without notice of the defendant. This is an element of surprise. So this is the advantage of the commercial courts and intellectual property rights cases. John Doe order. See, John Doe order, namely in Delhi or some other way, Ashok Kumar orders, usually referred to ex parte interim injunction, where court can pass an order without any name in case somebody, unknown persons are involved, name has not been disclosed, anonymous person, unknown person, then court can pass ex parte order against John Doe or Ashok Kumar that stop the impugning activities, stop the video, stop the violation of copyright. This is an added advantage of in intellectual property right cases. If you don't know the name of the culprit or name of the infringer, but you know the premises, if you know the link, if you know the something, then if you know the bank account or any fraud that your violation your trademark, that I am a dealer of the so company, I can send you the products, so send me the money, then you can also enforce your right through bank department on the basis of John Doe. So this is added advantage. You can enforce your right even you don't know the exact name of the infringer or counterfeiter or culprits. This John Doe judgment was first time in India passed in Taj Television versus Rajan Mandal 2003 FSR 22, where Honorable Delhi High Court passed this type of unknown person who illegally operating cable channels. Thereafter, Luxottica Group versus Mr. Munni, Ray-Ban sunglasses. Somebody are selling, manufacturing Ray-Ban sunglasses, but their name were not aware at the time of filing of suit. So court passed an John Doe order. After visiting of local commissioner, the name has been reflected. Now the question is jurisdiction. Court where civil cases for violation of IPA can be filed as per section 20, where cause of action has been occurred, where the part of the cause of action occurred, where the property violation of taking place, where the defendant resides or work for gain. Jurisdiction depends on the activities of the defendant, their places of business. But section 134 of Trademarks Act as well as section 62 of Copyright Act, it is an important section because court within the local limits of whose jurisdiction at the time of institution of the suit, the person instituting the suit, that means plaintiff, actually or voluntarily resides or carry on business or personally works for gain. It means if you are plaintiff and you have a registered trademark, if you are reside in Patna or Ranchi, defendant is from Jaipur, you can file infringement of trademark suit before Ranchi or Patna. It is an additional forum in respect of section 20 CPC. This is not a this is an additional forum. You can enforce Jaipur as well. But if you want to file your suit where you are reside, you can file. So this is a main benefit of the registration of trademark and copyright. You can file a suit where you are resides or you are carrying on business, or now Honorable Delhi High Court recently passed an order in case the goods sold through online channel, e-marketplace, just like Amazon, Flipkart, then products, in case somebody purchase the products in some city, you can file a suit where the products have been delivered for the purpose of online sale. Now, next question will arise automatically, what is the limitation? So, as per Limitation Act, there are 3 years generally we can file a suit for infringement. But as per Honorable Supreme Court in Bengal Waterproof judgments, every infringement or every sale is a continuous and fresh cause of action. In case A file a suit against B, and after 2 years B again selling the products, then B can file a fresh suit on the basis of continuous and fresh cause of action, recurring cause of action. Honorable Supreme Court in 1997 deal with section 10(11) order 2 rule 2, the CPC. There is no embargo for the plaintiff in case the fresh cause of action. They can file a suit again and fresh on the basis of fresh and recurring cause of action. In cases of continuous cause of action or recurring cause of action, bar of order 2 rule 2 sub rule 2 cannot be involved. So there is no, although there are 3 years as per Limitation Act, but as per this judgment, we can file a suit after expiry of 3 years on the basis of fresh cause of action. But you have to show, you have to establish that this is a fresh cause of action, this is a recurring cause of action, this is a continuous cause of action. This is very important. Same for the passing of, for the purpose of infringement, continuous cause of action, for the passing of deceit and tort, every time when such tortious act or deceit is committed by the defendant, the plaintiff gets a fresh cause of action to come to the court by appropriate proceedings. Similarly, infringement of a registered trademark would also be a continuing wrong so long as infringement continues. Therefore, whether the earlier infringement has continued or new infringement has taken place, cause of action for filing a fresh suit would obviously arise in favor of the plaintiff who is aggrieved by such fresh infringement of trademark or fresh passing of action alleged against the defendant. The same principle applied before on the Delhi High Court later on in 2002 in Indian House versus Rajimal and another. Same principle. See, the criminal remedy, we have two way. If you have registered copyright, you can file directly police complaint and then search and seizure and FIR. In case police ignored, refused, then we can file section 156(3), 200 CRPC for the purpose of executing raid as well as lodging FIR. For the purpose of police, in case you have registered trademark, the section 115 is embargo for the registration complaint, search and seizure by a person not below the rank of Deputy Superintendent of Police or equivalent. And proviso is very important. Under section 115 of Trademark Act 1999, the police officer before making any search and seizure shall obtain the opinion of the registrar on facts involved in the offence relating to trademarks and shall abide by the opinion so obtained. But under Copyright Act, there is no such provision. So, in case you have copyright, then you can enforce directly through police as well as court. But if you have a trademark, then 1154 says that before conducting any investigation, search and seizure, police officer shall obtain an opinion from the trademark registry. But this principle is also discussed in I will discuss later. Now, for the purpose of in case police refuse to take action, then what is remedy? The remedy is complaint under section 156(3), 200, 1991, 93 of CRPC, search and seizure. If a prima facie case is made out, then the court has the power to issue directions for investigations to police officers without any leading evidence. Simultaneously, court can issue search and seizure warrants against accused persons. If court does not find a prima facie case, then court may direct the complainant to adduce evidences, and after recording the evidence, the court may issue direction for investigation to police officers, and simultaneously court can issue search and seizure warrants against accused persons. Now, on the basis of injunction and filing a suit, counterfeiting goods, court can pass punitive damages against defendants, which is not a subject matter of the suit. Even court can pass punitive damages. That defendant is dishonest, defendant is violating the plaintiff's well-known trademark, defendant is knowingly and malafidely manufacturing the goods of the plaintiff. Offences under Trademark Act. Section 1, relevant section is 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109. The imprisonment 6 months to 3 years, fine 50,000 to 2 lakhs. So generally in Delhi, as per Delhi High Court judgment, the offence become bailable as per Delhi High Court rule. That no, in case of FIR has been lodged in Trademark and Copyright Act, this is a bailable offence and the accused may be released on bail at the police station only. So this is also a fact that persons filed a civil suit instead of criminal cases, because in case they granted bail, then again he doing same thing. Offences under Copyright Act 63A, 63B, punishment is same, 6 months to 3 years, fine is 50 to 2 lakhs. offenses under GI Act, section 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Punishment is almost parameter as per trademark act, 6 months to 3 years, 50,000 to 2 lakhs, same punishments. See, this criminal revision petition filed by Sanyo Electric Company, an order passed by magistrate regarding issue of search warrant related to trademark infringement was challenged, alleging that order passed by the magistrate violates the requirement of section 1154 of the Trademark Act. 1154 subclause 4 says that before search and seizure, police officers is bound on to obtain opinion from trademark registry. But sir, Honorable Delhi High Court hold in this matter that opinion is not required in case on magistrate pass an order for search and seizure. If you file a complaint before court and court pass search and seizure order, then police officer is not duty bound to take opinion from the trademark registry whether the trademark is identical or not, because court already passed this thing. In this judgment, court hold that court already prima facie court seen the prima facie case of the plaintiff complainant and then pass search and seizure, and again 115 as per section 1154 he takes the opinion from the registry, then it is a dual conflict. In case opinion is different, then court's order is against. So court in this matter hold that in case court pass an order such as there is no requirement of opinion regarding section 1154. This is a actual, in nutshell, the practical aspect of enforcement of IPR. I'm tried to very brief because we don't have any much time. So
yes, thank you, sir, for such an informative session. I am delighted to share with you, sir, the chat box having the compliments and questions. Sir, with your permissions, can we take the few questions on the behalf of participants?
Yes.
Yeah. One participant has asked, is a company logo a trademark? Fees and procedure for the same?
Is it, could you repeat please?
Is a company logo a trademark? Fees and procedure for the same? Fee and procedure for the same?
Yeah, logo is a trademark. Logo is a trademark, but in case it is an artistic work, then it will cover under copyright.
Okay, sir. We have another question, sir. If any copyrights protected material is infringed by someone unintentionally, then user will be given same penalty as per the Copyright Protection Act or forgiven? See, the bona fide user is onus on other party. He has to prove that this is a bona fide adoption. Then the court can take liberal view on the basis of bona fide user. Otherwise, the penalty is same. Okay. Ignorance of law is no excuse. Okay. We have another questions from the participants, sir. What is the geographical indications? How it is different from the trademark? Yes, we have so the geographical indications belong to the not that products. This is a showing region, the products were manufactured or were producing, just like Madhubani painting. So Madhubani painting is a now GI. So Madhubani painting may be in purse, maybe in drawing, maybe in photo frame. It can be used in anywhere, but
in case Madhubani painting is a GI, then nobody can use tag Madhubani painting without permission of the association of the Madhubani paintings. So this is just like a geographical regions, not a trademark. Geographical indications belong to society, not a proprietor, but trademark belongs to one proprietor or company. So this is a different region, because nobody can entitle for GI and on the basis of individual. In case Bengal Rasgulla, every Bengali is equally entitled. But in case Ghani detergent powder, only RSP is entitled for this trademark.
Okay, sir. Sir, we have another question from the one more participant. Sir, geographical indication can be licensed?
Yes.
Okay. We have another question from other participants. In how many ways infringements of design can be prevented?
Sorry?
In how many ways infringement of the design can be prevented?
How many ways?
In how many ways, I think is asked, in how many ways infringement of design can be prevented? I think they are asking about the types.
I think some question incomplete, or see, in case you have a design registration, then you have right of 15 years, it is a well settled. After 15 years, it is a public juries. During 15 years, you can enforce your right on the basis of registration in case somebody violating your design identical or discipline similar. So way is only in case you have registered design, then you can file infringement of the design suit.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more question is there, sir. What is the period of limitations?
See, the period of limitation is 3 years, although, but as per Bengal Waterproof judgment, every infringement create a fresh cause of action. So we cannot file a suit at and when you know. The, as per limitation 3 years. But in case defendant are selling good day-to-day basis, so every infringement and every passing off is create fresh cause of action. Says there is no limitation.
And one last question is the sir, what is the criminal remedy such as you have explained, police and court?
Criminal remedy?
Criminal remedies such as police and court. What is the base types of the criminal
Yes.
remedies?
What is different? I suppose question what is different. Yeah.
Yes.
See, if you have a copyright registration certificate for any product, then you can file a complaint directly before police, just like a complaint for lodging FIR and search and seizure. You should not go before court. There's no requirement to go to court first. You can file a complaint before police official. He can lodge FIR and do search and seizure. But in case of trademark violation, then there are two options. First, police officials must obtain opinion from trademark registry that the plaintiff trademark and offending trademark is identical or not. But if police refuse to take action, then what is the remedy? Then you have to go to court as per section 156(3) as well as 200 of CRPC. So they are different. Police refuse the lodging FIR not in this matter, human being matter, chori, dakaiti, and even sometime 323, 326. 307, then what is remedy? Remedy is only as per CRPC.
Yes. Yes, sir. Am I audible,
Yeah.
sir? Anil, sir? Yes.
I,
Yes, sir.
You
We
have, I
have
think,
another.
any more question,
sir.
please?
Yes, sir. Last two questions, sir. We have another question. What is the procedure for selling of patent? Is there any judiciary process involved?
No, only assignment is required. If somebody has
And,
patent, registered patent holder, then he can assign to anybody through deed of assignment.
And last questions of this session, sir.
Sorry,
What
and
can be offenses
thereafter,
under-
sorry, after assignment date, there is recordal before patent office also it is required.
Okay. And last question of the session. What can be offenses under Copyright Acts?
What can be offenses under Copyright Act? See, in case you have
Yes.
you are music director and somebody is using your music and copy your music, then you can enforce your right. If you are your artistic work, you have made some design, logo, artistic work and copy your trade dress, that means name is different but label is same, then you can enforce your right under Copyright Act. If you write a book in novel or in some story, somebody copying your story, then you can enforce your enforce under Copyright Act.
Thank you very much, sir, for answering all the questions of the participants. I would like to summarize the topic discussed in the interactive sessions where sir has explained types of intellectual property rights such as patents, infringements of patents, remedies against infringements, what are the provisions of infringements. Sir has also discussed relief in suit for infringements, action pillar order. Sir has given light on the provisions of infringements of design. Sir has also given on the geographical indications and copyrights and their subject matter passing off. Sir has also defined the differences between infringements and passing off, enforcement and their types, period of limitations. Sir has also explained criminal remedies such as police and court and offenses under the Copyright Acts. On behalf of Jharkhand Rai University and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to Advocate Anil Kumar Sahu sir for your important knowledge and sharing with us your findings and opinion in this session. It was indeed a privilege to have you as an expert, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
very much, sir.
Namaskar.
Thank you. And participants are requested to submit the assessment and feedback form at the end of the session, which are provided at the Moodle platform.
Should I leave?
Yes. Okay, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. One announcement for the participants. Tomorrow we have last day, that is 6th day of the faculty development program on the topic solutions for legal complications for intellectual property rights, if any. And the session will be taken by Advocate Soryan sir from 10 a.m. sharply. Participants, kindly fill the feedback form as well as assessments for the 2-day sessions by end of the day, 5 p.m. And tomorrow will be the last day of the FDP on the topic of solutions for legal complications for IPR, if any. Thanks to all the participants.